Here's how to annotate chapter 4. So we're using this as our guide: greed, colonial oppression, fate versus agency, and good versus evil as our themes. So the first thing we want to annotate is this entire first paragraph, which is a continuation from the start of chapter 3, and it's an extended metaphor. So he was talking about how a town is a living thing, and now he continues on and talks about how the town keeps track of all of its people, all of its units. So on page 44 we've got a new entrant, a new symbol that is man. So all through this chapter there's a lot of discussion about what a man is and what it takes to be a man, what a man should do and what a man does do. And then on 45 we've got this one: all of the neighbours hoped that sudden wealth would not turn Kino's head, would not make a rich man of him, would not graft onto him the evil limbs of greed and hatred and coldness. So that's greed. And then we have fate versus agency. For Kino and Juana, this was the morning of mornings of their lives, comparable only to the day when the baby had been born. So they're showing that sort of things are really starting to happen, whereas in the past they were standard. Now they're going to be clicked up a notch, they're going to be more complicated. Fate versus agency. Okay. 46, we've got the town as a family, and so it's exploring what's going on. There was a self-consciousness about their joining Kino and Juana to go pearl selling. It was expected, it was an historic moment. They would be crazy if they didn't go. It would be a sign of unfriendship, so the town's going to follow him as a friend. And then more about a man. So it's this one is talking about the way a man wears his hat, tells you a lot about that man, the way he views the world and the way he imagines things. Then down the bottom here we've got two examples of personification. The houses belched people and the doorways spewed out children. So personification is giving human thoughts or emotions to things that don't have them, like houses can't really spew and doorways likewise. So then greed, this whole thing here. So this is talking about in the past they tried to find a way around the pearl buyers and all of the people ran away. Kino says, I have heard our father tell of it. It was a good idea, but it was against religion, and the father made that very clear. Okay, so then we've got a simile. Father made it clear that each man and woman is like a soldier sent by God to guard some part of the castle of the universe. So it's a religious simile, but it's a simile nonetheless. And then we've got colonialism. So for me that is green. The brothers as they walk squinted their eyes. So it's talking about the only defence that the oppressed people have is one where they squint or slant their eyes, and they sort of bite their bottom lip, a slight tightening of the lips and retirement. So they're beaten down so much that they don't really respond anymore to the negative things that happen. And it is just a beautiful example of characterization. So characterization is when you just describe the character of people and you give a really clear idea of what's going on and who's doing who they are. So this one sentence talks just about this one person, and he was a caller of good mornings, a ceremonious shaker of hands. It's just beautiful writing, so you might want to circle that for characterization. 50 and 51 is pretty small. This is just where they're talking about the pearl, and this is a simile. This pearl is like fool's gold. It's true. 52, and he turned and looked in Juana's eyes, and when he looked away, he had renewed strength. So I've got here agency. So he's taking his fate into his own hands. He's not letting God decide or letting religion be the dictator there, but he's doing his bit. And then we've got colonial oppression over here, or colonialism I've got, or colonization. Kino, who had never seen a pearl surface magnified, was shocked at the strange looking surface. So he doesn't know the things that they're trying to fool him with. He doesn't know the tricks that they're using. Page 54, but suppose they had arranged it before. If that is so, then all of us have been cheated all of our lives. And over here, we do not know that we are cheated from birth to the overcharge on our coffins, but we survive. You have defied not the pearl buyers, but the whole structure, the whole way of life, and I'm afraid for you. So his brother, Juan Tomas, is very fearful of where he's going to go, what's going to happen to him. And then down here, it's a mixture of the concept of man and good and evil. So this section is some of the town saying that they think he's a good man, an evil man, and then the second section is saying some people saying he's an evil man, good and then evil and then good rather. I don't know, said Juan Tomas, but I'm afraid for you. It is new ground you're walking on. You do not know the way. So again, that's his understanding of, he's treading on a new path. He's walking a new way. He has agency, he has control, he has choice, and that's dangerous, especially as they are an oppressed people under colonialism. So on page 57, you just need to underline this. Juana heard the little rush, the grunting, struggle, the blow, because that is when Kino murders someone who has come to steal his pearl. And then we've got evil, so I'm highlighting it for the colour good versus evil, but it's obviously just evil itself. And you'll note it's not the song of the evil, but it is just pure evil in its purest form. And then on the last page, 58, Kino, this pearl is evil, let us destroy it before it destroys us. Let us crush it between two stones. Let us throw it back in the sea where it belongs. Kino, it is evil, it is evil. So it's not the song of the evil, the pearl is simply itself evil. And then Kino's manliness, his maleness, believe me, he said, I am a man, and his face grew crafty. Kino, she said huskily, I'm afraid a man can be killed, let us throw the pearl back into the sea. So they're struggling with the idea. She was silent, for his voice was command. So again, that's man and what it means to be a man and what power a man has. And that's the end of chapter 4.